So in the time we have left, I'm actually curious about your life lessons. So I see you're working in the office, which I think is very exciting. I'm curious how you think about this whole work-life balance and hybrid work and working in the office. I'm old school, and I have this kind of jaded opinion that the worst place you can be working at the moment is from home, because you're not able to have conversations with smart folks like yourself in the hallway to get that added value that if you're only connecting via a meeting form like this, you're never going to get the same kind of organic learning that you can get in the office. I'm curious what your opinions are about and what you've built in terms of culture. You're in the office. I've seen other people in your office. How do you think about hybrid and remote and in-office work?
In real life, there is no perfection. There is no solution that is perfect from every aspect. Everything that we do, any approach we take, there will be some pluses and some minuses. So from building the culture perspective, it really helped us when we started the company in 2016 to really all of us be in working at the same office. And at the beginning, you are growing the team, you are hiring people every month. And that is very helpful to build the culture. No argue about it. Now, when COVID happened, and we had some kind of hybrid model at that point. Some people could work remotely, some people could come to office some days. But office was very active, and we had multiple offices at that time. And COVID happened overnight. Everybody had to work remotely. We started working remotely. And then afterward, we started during COVID time hiring people from different locations. There was no way for us to go back. We stayed remote 100%. But at the same time, once a quarter, as I do now, I'm back in Virginia, Tyson, just outside Washington, D.C., where our office, main office is. And I come to this location and we bring some people here. And then we get together and we just quarterly basis, we just strategize and discuss. And then, the rest of the time, actually, we are all working remotely. So that's really, and even during this time, not everybody has to come to office every day. Depending on the meeting, some people show up. So I would say we are probably 90% remote, 95% remote. And sometimes if we need to really collaborate faster, the bandwidth you get inside one room with the real whiteboard, not virtual one, is much better, much faster. So that's really where we are from organizational point of view. For me, as a person that need to really meet with the team and cultivate the culture and work with everybody to make sure I would love to really meet with people in person, face to face. If I have to, travel and bring people to one location and just meet with them every quarter or every 6 months or once a year, I will do it. So I'm a big advocate of really seeing people face to face, shaking hand, having some really, that kind of experience. I think it's never ever going to be, Atkinson. I don't know how to do it over Zoom. I don't know how to do it over Zoom. But when I get together with people over in one room, it's just totally much better experience from my perspective.
What advice would you provide to younger folks who are just getting into the world of work in terms of how they should think about either their career path or their behavior or the choices that they make? I mean, what do you remember conscious decisions around, I think I need this skill set, or I'm going to make this decision to go in this direction as you've gone through your career? I mean, what kind of waypoints did you consciously veer in one direction or another?
Yeah, it might be very difficult to really predict the future, of course. And it's not easy for someone to say, I can really plan to get to that destination. But it is not difficult to really ask yourself where you want it to end up. Let's say whatever time range you have in mind, in 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, when I'm at the age of this particular age, where do you want to be? And that's really what I encourage most of these young people to really think about it. Where do you want to be at that age? And then do in a way a reverse engineering. And every day when you wake up, ask yourself what you are going to do today. Is it going to help you to get there or not? Right? So I had the luxury of, when I was at, in teenage, for example, that kind of age, I was a teenager. I looked around and I picked people that I want to be with like them when I'm 50 or 60 years old. And I really admired them. And those people, 1, 2, 3 people that I really, really admired, they had very shared kind of values, and they had some kind of things that I could see. All 3 of them, both of them, the 2, 3 people I liked most, they really, from that, those aspects are very similar, and that's where I wanted to end up. And that gave me that kind of compass that I wanted to really go that route. So I should take these kind of actions to get there. Sometimes your timing may not be perfect. You wanted to be there at the age of 40, you get there at the age of 60 or vice versa, but you get there. I mean, that's the most important thing. So the main question for them is, where do you want to end up? Look there and nothing else, and you will end up there.
What do you think some of your soft skills were that allowed you to kind of build, very successful companies multiple times over? I mean, what do you think that that you had? Was it vision? Is it the ability to collaborate well? Is it being able to pick talent out? I mean, how did you do what you did so successfully?
It's a relative term, honestly, successfully. I mean, I may think about it like I could be way more successful, so I'm not that successful. Somebody else may look at it and say, no, it is success, you have been. So I think success is kind of a relative term, and people need to define it in their mind. But what I would love to do, and I did, and I think from that aspect I was successful, was that I surrounded myself with people that are helpful, and I tried my best to be helpful to others, right? So from my perspective, that's the philosophy of life. So if somebody on my father's side, they have a very kind of interesting way to look at life. When somebody passed away, they'd say, he served well. He served everyone well, meaning that he essentially served the purpose of life. And I thought that that's really good way to look at life. So I want to be the kind of person that has been helpful. So if I pass away, people look at me and say, hey, he was helpful, right? So he served his purpose. And that's really the way, you surround yourself with people that are helpful, and then you make people happy. And that gives you the kind of guideline that when you go there and you do your best, not always you can be successful, but you do your best to optimize that, to really help others and make people happy, and others come in and help you, and then you get where you want. And honestly, at the end of the day, the more you age and the more you go, I more become a believer in that people that I saw, around me that I loved most, that they were happiest people that I could see. They were happy because, honestly, they were very honest people, and they were very helpful to others, and they made others happy, so everybody else made them happy and helped them.